Shout out Aquaman and in the Flash too. Shout out Virgo King, he the man too. Yeah, shout out E-Man, fuck a damn too. Hey, it's Jody's corner. Yeah, hey, it's Jody's corner.
YouTube was good. It's your boy Jody Joe. Welcome to Jody's Corner. I'm here in studio. I'm Jody Joe. Thank you guys so very much for being here. Co-host, we got E-Man in the building.
What's poppin', YouTube land? What it do? You know what it is.
And we got the man, the myth, the legend, the code here.
I have arrived. Let's get it.
Welcome to Jody's Corner. Talk show, baby. Style. What's happening? What's happening? What's happening? But anyway, we the Just Us League. Let's go ahead and get into this Morbius movie review. Was it good? Was it bad? Let's find out. Yeah. Well, all right. We're talking about Morbius, and we saw the movie, spoiler free.
Yeah.
First initial impressions with the movie.
I wasn't really hyped for this movie like that. I thought it was gonna be okay, but I mean, from what I saw from the trailers and the reactions and stuff like that, but I really wasn't hyped for it like that as much. But from what I saw, it was okay.
All right, for sure. So what you saw, you were pretty much okay with.
I was surprised because I was looking for like crash and burn. I mean, even though it had those moments, but
right,
you know, it was better than what I anticipated.
Oh,
it was
shit.
Really, it was surprising. It was surprisingly better.
Code, do you feel this? Do you feel the same way?
Oh, no. I thought this movie was, I gave it a shot, but the trailers are lies. I'm just going to put that out there real quick.
That's a fact.
Trailers are lies. This movie was...
What you mean the trailers are... Well, spoiler free.
Yeah, spoiler free, but I'm just saying how
like the trailers are making...
The trailers are lies.
Like there's stuff in the
trailer
that's not in the
shows
movies?
a competent movie. This movie's not competent.
It's some things.
So they're lies.
There's some things in this movie that they showed in the trailer that they didn't show in this movie.
That happens all the time.
Not too much worried about that.
Usually when you
There's
see
nothing that I
trailers,
really noticed about that, though. I didn't really notice anything about stuff in the trailer that was missing from the movie. Couple of things that I thought I was going to get in the movie that weren't in the trailers weren't in the movie, and that's what kind of upsets me. Yeah. That plus the fact that this movie is absolute dog shit. A lot of the people came out and said, a lot of the rumors were that this movie is bad, this movie is not good, this movie's a waste of time. Everybody that said that this movie has issues was absolutely 100% correct. This movie was made in 1999, but they just released it just now. It's a 1999 beginning of the superhero phase of Marvel, not MCU. I'm talking about like X-Men 1 and those type of movies. Fantastic Four.
It's not even that good.
It's bad.
It feels like
it's pacing, like it's story, it's
everything.
Script, it's direction, it
feels like it's not done.
It's like chopped and edited to shit.
It feels like it's not done. It feels like somebody had a thought and they were like, okay, let's do this. And then they didn't finish what they was thinking about and they chopped it and put it on with another piece that did the same thing. It feels like a bunch of different scenes put together, but they're incomplete. Like, they're not incomplete in the sense of it's not a full scene. It's incomplete in that the scenes don't go together. Like, none of these scenes, you got a puzzle, none of the pieces go together.
Right.
That's what it feels like.
Damn.
That's because this movie was intended to be rated R, just like Venom.
Okay.
Just like Venom.
Okay.
And Sony, being the absolute cucks that they are, sorry for a lack of a better word, because Sony, you are cucks of Disney Marvel. You guys went back on your own word and cut this movie from rated R into PG-13 to tie it off to Tom Holland, Spider-Man, to your own Sony-verse that's tied to the MCU, because you're not even confident enough to make your own Sony-verse. Everything that you do is predicated on what Disney Marvel does in the MCU, and that's absolutely weak in my opinion.
I agree.
It's bad enough to know that Sony is a trash movie studio for the last few years. It's another thing to know that in the Marvel universe, where the bread and butter exists, that they still can't get their shit together, even with the help of Kevin Feige's MCU. You still managed to fumble the bag. And you guys fumbled the bag by doing something that you should not have done. You should have just did your own thing.
Yeah, I agree.
But you rather copy Marvel's MCU. You want to play in the sandbox with the MCU. I was right when I said that shit because it's so obvious that you guys are puppets not doing your own vision. You're just trying to ride the coattails of another company. And there's nothing worse to me as a consumer who sees a company copying another company. For example, I'll never go to iPhone because Apple copies Samsung far too much.
Okay.
So why would I get an Apple when all Apple does is copy the innovations that Samsung makes?
Okay.
I might as well go with the OG company.
Facts.
Now, what I've been realizing over the last couple of years is that Samsung has been copying Apple. So here are two freaking companies copying each other for dominance. So now I'm just like, freak both of you motherfreakers. I'd rather have a company that innovates and does its own thing. Sony is that copycat company. They are not 1990 Sony where they led and they were trailblazers. They are copycatters trying to survive like a victim in this movie running from Morbius, bro. Morbius is a trash character. Jared Leto does a terrible job because there's the only job that you can do with this role is terrible, bro. This shit is emo. This action is weak. This CGI is blurry as freak. This story, miss me. I'm not even going to talk about the story. Tyrese Gibson, what are you doing in this movie? You are unneeded.
Showed up.
What are any of the characters doing in this movie?
It was no point in him being in here. He didn't do anything.
The only saving grace was the villain, and that's it. And some eye candy from the female. Bro, some of the stuff coming out the villain's mouth was funny, and he was pretty menacing. And then the third act, the climax, was trash.
Oh, they had one of those?
I said, Code. I said, this is about to be trash. Watch this shit. The setup at the end was garbage. The execution was bad. They got college students. I don't know who directed this. I should have looked that up before I started this review. But this director holds a freaking fat L. This director holds a fat L. This writer holds a fat L. And I think even more than the director and the writer holding the fat L, bro, I think the producer holds the biggest L for this movie.
I don't think so.
The person who produced this to get all of the things working, flowing together, to make this a cohesive thing, failed miserably. The biggest L is handed to the producer of this film.
I think the editor, bro, gets an L. Everybody gets an L.
The editor could only do the best that he can. Once the studio decides to make a rated R version and then says, you know what, we're going to do PG. Now the editor has to freaking be like, fuck.
The writer takes, I guess the writer, bro, it's all bad. It's all bad here. I can't even. And what sucks to me is I like Morbius, if I'm not talking about this movie. But if I didn't know anything about Morbius from Spider-Man, he's utter trash here. Like, I don't even recognize him here.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
none of
different. He's very different. He's completely. I mean, I hear what you guys are saying and stuff. Like, I felt like the plot was way off, but the story base was understandable. The reasoning, why he was doing what he was doing.
Why am I not surprised? Here's the writer, Matt Skazma. Look what he's done.
Oh shit! Well, that's
Gods of Egypt, Power Rangers, The Last Witch Hunter, and Dracula.
Bro, it reminds me of Dracula.
Yeah, okay.
Dracula Untold. That's what I hate about
Dracula
It's Dracula Untold.
I knew it was Dracula Untold.
Dracula
I couldn't
is a
even
good
see
movie.
it from here, and I knew it was that shit.
Dracula Untold.
It's the way you see how the pacing in these movies and the cuts and that's
Yes.
how Dracula fails. But the story,
my God.
because you know what Dracula is, you're like, this could have been so awesome.
Look at this filmography here. Look at these credits.
These two
Look
right
at
here.
this.
Well, Dracula and Witch Hunter is
That
okay.
Witch Hunter shit is trash too.
But the Dracula and what was
He
the other
did
one?
the story of Power Rangers. He wrote Gods of Egypt.
Gods of Egypt. Yeah, Gods of Egypt.
He wrote The Last Witch Hunter, and he did the screenplay for Dracula Untold.
yeah, he's a bad writer.
This
off
dude's
top.
trash.
He's trash.
I like
For
Dracula
me,
Untold. Dracula
his-
Untold was good.
I heard Dracula Untold is a terrible film.
It's a failure, bro. It's a failure. If you, I know you can't watch it, but if you've seen
Right.
it, it will remind you of Morbius. Like you can tell his work. I'm telling you, I was gonna bring that
My
shit up.
God. Daniel Espinosa. I know that name. He's the director of this movie.
There it is.
And there he is. Let's see what he's done.
That's crazy. That's crazy that
Snabacash. He did
Saw
Life,
that shit.
Safe House. So Life
good
was
movie.
okay.
Safe House.
Yeah, Life was okay.
Safe House was another okay film.
I never seen that one.
Safe House was okay.
The third one I never.
Outside Love, The Fighter. No,
Well,
short. No,
we already
that's a
know
different
who took the lead on this project.
Yeah,
It was the other guy.
yeah.
I
mean,
noticed his work in here.
This guy's the director. So mediocre directing here, Daniel. I would give you an L for this one. Definitely, that's where I would.
It's
be
the
at.
writing was bad, bro. That's why.
Producer is the one that I give the biggest L to. So I'm going to go ahead and look up who produced this bad boy. It's hard to find that out.
Yeah.
But in my opinion, bro, this is one of the worst Marvel movies that are out. You like this thing. You gave this thing more credit than me and Cole.
Well, the thing
how
is
you
though,
feel?
is that I was surprised that for what it was, like the power setting was kind of dope. Even though we saw, and I see a little bit more. I was shocked that it had something that I didn't think that it was gonna have when we saw the trailer. That surprised the shit out of me. But the story, like the reasoning of why he was doing what he was doing. Now everything else from the build up and getting to the big bad, that shit was trash. It was a waste. It was a waste of space. I thought it could have been 20 times better than that. But from what I saw from like the power setting, the story, somewhat of the story was decent. I thought it was gonna be, but it was decent to me just a little bit.
Fuck.
It ain't a good movie, but it's decent.
Bro. Okay.
It's decent. It's decent.
There's nothing to salvage here. I kind of, I believe some of what you're saying, but because there's lots to salvage here if you get somebody in there who's competent, and then they're just gonna gut this thing and fix everything. You get somebody in there to just come in and say, okay, I see why the character's motivations are this, but we cannot let this play out like this. This is
Right.
ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? And certain elements of this movie needs to be fleshed out further. And I thought they were gonna do that as I was watching it, but then it just turned into a montage. It was like montage, clip, next montage, clip, montage, clip. It's like, no, you need to, in my opinion, you need to flesh out the thing you want to tell, and then in between, you get character development for your characters, and then you jump to your next montage, at least. But this was just montage after montage, and that climax, that ending scene, what is that?
Both of them? Well,
I don't even know what happened. I still don't know what happened.
yeah,
I know what happened.
I don't know what the freak happened.
It was trash.
It was
You're in disbelief,
It was
that's
pointless.
true.
It was pointless. Why? Like why? On both angles. Why?
Why
Not
is
really
it-
why,
Why is this
how, and huh?
the point? Exactly. I was all
That?
of it.
There's no
The
reasoning.
whole
There's no
ending
reasoning.
seemed to
There's
me-
no
I was like,
reasoning
wait
for
a
this.
minute.
No reasoning.
Okay.
Track
And then-
down the producer of this film, the one that I give the L to. He's doing John Wick Chapter 4, which comes out next year. It was delayed.
Shit.
So John Wick Chapter 4, you might not.
It could still be good. It could still be good.
I'm gonna predict, based off this producer, that this will be the worst John Wick.
Oh man, wait. He did these two right here.
I'm gonna go down the list if you would give me a moment.
I'm sorry.
I'm gonna show them on screen, and then I'm gonna announce each film. Okay, here we go. Morbius, which we just saw. He did Cinderella, Alpha, Baywatch, Brothers Grimsby, The Big Short, which is decent, and then he did the Hunger Games movies.
I don't like those
Hunger Games was good movies. I like
I don't
those.
like
I like
those.
all
Baby
those.
Mama.
Never seen that.
It's that movie with I forgot these actresses. Who are these actresses? Freak. I've seen the movie Baby Mama a couple times. It's a comedy. Mean Girls.
I see Mean Girls.
Yeah. Not a great body of work here. He's one of the executive producers. The other executive producer, her name is Emma Ludbrooke. Emma Ludbrooke. Let's take a look at what Emma's been doing. Tron 3. Oh,
That's a thing.
that's coming in 2025.
I was going to say what?
American Gigolo, the TV series. Morbius, We Crashed, the TV series. 30 Seconds to Mars. Great Wide Open, Beyond the Horizon, Into the Wild. Not much
Sounds like-
experience here.
Nah.
Television mostly. Which, I'm not knocking TV, but I mean, we see what time it is. We see what type of talent is surrounding this movie.
Yeah.
It's not
shows.
it's not A tier. It's not top tier.
It shows.
Talent on this movie, and you can clearly see that shit.
Yeah, bro. It's terrible.
The script is bad. Everything is
Everything is bad.
The cast is bad.
Everything is
Jared
bad.
Leto's bad.
Everything's bad.
Tyrese is bad. Everybody in this movie is bad except the villain because he was just. But he's bad too.
Yeah,
because
he's bad.
He's 2001 villain bad.
Yes, he's bad too.
Everybody's bad in this movie. There's no saving grace of this film. I believe that you're gonna get bored watching it because there's a knockoff scene of The Dark Knight in here where
I
it
thought it was
plays the
tight.
Dark Knight trilogy's
thought that was
Batman
tight.
score.
Yeah, for real.
There's a scene with him and Bats, and it's going to be playing the score from that's very reminiscent to the Dark Knight trilogy, and it's so obvious. It's disgusting.
It's tight though.
This movie plagiarizes Batman.
And it was tight.
Yeah, I was like, wait a minute, hold up. What?
Like I've seen this before.
Well,
Tight.
I give it to Jared Leto for doing another thing too. Is even though the movie it's not all that, he did do the job of working out. You know what I mean? He worked
I
out.
don't even know if that was him, bro. I ain't gonna front.
They could have been a digital face
Yeah,
on
bro,
a digital body
I ain't
like they
gonna
did
front.
Captain America in the first Avenger.
Could have
Oh,
been,
fuck.
bro.
Could have been that. That
Could've been
skinny
that.
body wasn't his.
Well,
That was digital. And
Yeah,
that
bro.
buff one probably wasn't his either.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I don't
but
buy shit.
It don't even matter. It don't even matter. 'Cause
It doesn't. Why did he get buff? Even if he got buff, he didn't need to. This movie trash. Like this is a waste of getting buff.
yeah, it is.
This is a waste
He
of a
didn't
buff
need to.
body.
He didn't need to.
You did not need to do all that shit.
He didn't need to.
I guess
Well,
it made
this
it look
movie-
like the more he consumed, the stronger he became, and it showed
Well,
in his
all of his
physique.
feats of strength were like,
This is not Morbius.
it's not.
This
Not
is
to
not.
me.
This is not.
No,
this
it's
is
not
not
Morbius.
comic book Morbius. This ain't
Nah.
cartoon Morbius. There is no Morbius that exists with the way they show you how his powers work in this movie, and his dependency on certain things, and his abilities at times, the way they implement and show them to you, the strengths and the weaknesses. That ain't Morbius. He's not even cool in this one. I wouldn't want to be this nigga. I want to be the Morbius from the Spider-Man cartoon. He tight.
He is
This
tight.
nigga right here, he has a really big, huge flaw to his power. That shit is whack.
He he could be tight, but for some reason, I don't know, bro.
And it doesn't make itself clear. It doesn't make at first. The movie makes you feel like in the beginning, like he doesn't have any control of what he does.
Right.
Then throughout the movie, it's like, okay, so he can control Morbius or nah, or oh, when he consumes this, he'll be okay, but when he consumes this, he gets stronger, or nah. It's confusing.
I can't follow that logic. So
It's-
none of their logic with
it's
with
confusing.
all that shit with
It's
him in
confusing.
control, not in control.
It does
Miss
make
me
you
with
lost.
that.
It does make you lost because you're trying to figure out how and what is going on.
I wasn't trying to figure that shit out. I'm being honest.
There's no. It makes the promotion for this picture, the posters, the allure, the trailers make it seem like there's such a poetic
Yeah, like there's
divinity
something
to
there.
it. Yeah, like there's
But there's nothing.
something so divine
It's
lurking
empty.
behind the
It's
curtain.
empty as shit.
You pull open that curtain and you see a freaking fat, overweight, 375-pound clown jacking off.
You know what it
Damn.
reminds
That's
me
what
of?
you see. That's what this shit is.
I'm gonna do a bad reference, but it reminds me of, you know, when you see a short clip, I'd say like 5 seconds of a porno, and it was fire. Like, ooh, let me
Right.
watch that. And then you get the full scene, you're like, wasn't as good as I thought.
Yeah.
It's like, what the freak?
Like, this is trash.
Yeah,
It's
it's
not
like-
even worth the rub.
Ah,
All right, guys.
It worth
Anything
the
else you
rub.
want to? This is spoiler free, obviously. Final
spoiler
take.
free,
E,
bro.
go ahead. Last take.
This movie for me, like I said, I thought it was going to be a little bit, but it gave me something. And I'm glad that at least gave me a little bit of something than what it was, because like I said, the number one thing that shocked the shit out of me of what came out, and what came out surprised the shit out of me in this movie. But overall, this movie is not good. It doesn't have that feeling like, oh shit, oh my god, oh I gotta see this, I gotta get this on the steelbook, it's none of that. Overall, I give this movie like a D.
But you said you kind of liked it, and this wasn't as bad as you
Yeah,
thought.
a
and-
D is decent compared to a freaking, it should be an F, but before I saw, I was surprised. So
A D is decent.
to me,
Hey, bro, do your thing. I can't get mad at you.
All right, a D for you, Code.
I can't even talk about this trash movie. There's nothing to say. Unless I'm gonna completely trash it, bro. And I'm gonna say that for the spoiler free. I gotta trash it there. But
spoiler review, you mean?
Yeah, my bad. The spoiler review.
Okay, if they want a spoiler review, we'll do it because I have no intention.
All right, tight. If they want
this is not worthy of a spoiler.
That's a little bit of excitement you just gave me.
Yeah, bro.
Tight. I gotta revisit this shit. But this movie, for me, Disney Marvel needs to go ahead and give Sony back Spider-Man so they can get out their sandbox, my nigga. They can't be running amok like this.
I want Sony to quit and get out of the superhero business.
They need to go ahead and give them, say, look, take Spider-Man and get the freak out of the sandbox, my nigga. They need to do that shit.
I wanted this over with.
They're going to run them amok. Watch. It's looking real bad. After this, it's looking real bad. What are they planning? Craven and all that shit? Ooh, it's looking real bad. After that Venom, what's it? Let There Be Carnage, bro. They need to get them out of here. They need to get them out of here. That's like a visitor in your house. You know what I'm saying? He eats up all the food and don't do shit.
What do you mean get them out of here?
They need to get out. Every time they associate themselves with Marvel.
They are Marvel. You mean MCU?
Yeah, Marvel MCU. All that shit. My bad.
Yeah.
Get them out of here. They need to get them out of here. Otherwise, it's going to put a bad taste in people's, they're going to associate them with them if they're not doing it already.
Yeah.
The average. Yeah. So, yeah, but if you need a grade for this, you know what I'm giving this. I'm giving this an F, my nigga. This is an F. I thought it was a D. I think I said D way back.
Yeah, you did.
The truth has been revealed. This is an F. So that's where I'm at with it.
There are a couple after credit scenes here that are just as confusing as the rest of this movie.
It is.
And confusing, but what I mean by confusing is it's obvious what it is. You'll know what the credit scenes are there to do. And that's what I mean by confusing. It's so simplistic. You're confused as to why this is an end credit scene. It's giving you knowledge you already know. And they're running with that shit at full speed ahead. It's embarrassing, bro. I'm embarrassed for Sony. You guys should be ashamed of yourselves to deliver a product like this to release to the masses. This is beneath us. I'm gonna go with what Code said, but times 10. Sony, get out of the hit superhero game. I hope you guys go bankrupt, and I hope somebody else buys your shit.
Damn.
You don't know what the freak you're doing. Sell Spider-Man. Let him go. Get out of the superhero genre. I do not want to see any more of your Universal films. I had high hopes for you at the beginning of last year when you seemed to be doing. Then you latched back on to Tom Holland, made that new deal, and it was like, oh my God. Ugh. Leave Feige alone, you're God. Make your own shit. But now I'm past that. Get out the game. Retire. Get out of here. Y'all already ain't got a streaming service. Y'all lost James Bond. Amazon got that. You guys are the uncool kid trying to hang around the cool kids, and it's not a good look. I have zero interest in seeing the movies you're trying to set up. Tom Holland's Spider-Man is going to be in trouble because he's a part of Sony. The Disney MCU is in trouble because you're leeching onto them. You're dragging them down. You're dead weight. So Disney's mistake was to ever mess with you guys. Disney should have never mixed up with Sony and try to do this universal crossing and shit. I could go back in time with the DeLorean. I would go and stop that meeting from happening and slap everybody at that table. And I'd slap Feige twice. You Spider-Man thirsty motherfucker. But I know a lot of this has to do with the death of Chadwick Boseman because, Black Panther was supposed to lead the way to the future of the MCU. And, things, they calling audibles out here. They panicked. But now Tom Holland is over here with Sony, and we're about to see some confusing shit. I really feel like Sony should quit, go bankrupt, just go away. I don't respect y'all. You don't respect the characters. You don't respect the fans. Jared Leto, you trash. Tyrese, god damn. I understand you got to get that check, though. I know why you're here, bro.
He got.
Yeah.
He needed that check.
That was easy work. That was easy work.
That was a good check.
That was a real easy work.
Enough with this. Venom is better than this.
Yeah.
Venom Let's Be Carnage is better than this.
I mean, that's horrible to say.
Those are trash.
They're both trash, but...
Bro, How is that possible? Bro, you released Venom, then Let There Be Carnage, a Venom sequel, then this?
Yeah, bro.
Ugh!
Only getting worse.
because of Spider-Verse, y'all want them to live? Man, get that Spider-Verse shit up out of here. Wipe all that shit too. You gotta wipe the good with the bad in order to get rid of this cancer. I hate this movie, and I hate Sony. I give this movie an F, because that's what it freaking deserves. Trash.
I agree.
Thank you guys so very much for watching. I'm Jody Joe. That's my man E-Man. It's a man of myth, the legend of code. We are 3 parts of the Just Us leg. Subscribe to the channel. We out this thing. Deuces.
Like, comment, and subscribe, you guys. Thumb up that video for $99 all day. Don't forget to share love and to the JC family. Let us know what you think about it. You like it, don't like it, let us know what you think.
Do it.
And do it now.